Copious.
What up, perps? Kid Copious, back in the bunker. Purple State Party. You know what we're doing here, man. We are repping America, the center, common sense, and the 4th of July. So yeah, I'll be your fireworks director. Yeah, great time of the year, man. I love celebrating America, man. You know, because that's what we do here, man. Purple State Party, man, is about America, and it's about good Americans. People who act decently. People who act with sense and sensibility. People who can understand the other side. People who can accept the other side. But you know what we don't accept? We don't accept fucking nonsense. And we're going to kick it off with some nonsense here. You know, obviously I don't need to explain the episode title, man. You know, happy birthday, America. You know, you are the fucking greatest. And if you're watching this, you're also the greatest. Thank you very much. Please interact with this video. Let's drive the algorithms up. Yeah, we're going to kick this off right here with one of, an ally of the show, I guess, Blair White. You know, I myself do not care about the Johnny Depp trial, but, you know, here's an interesting point that's been brought up a lot, and I just thought I'd bring it up today. I don't want to live in a society that demands every detail of the Amber Heard Johnny Depp case, but is somehow content without a single name from Maxwell's client list. Yeah, you know, let's be honest here, man. Epstein and Maxwell, they trafficked kids. But they trafficked those kids to somebody. Who are those somebodies? What kind of evidence do we have about the people who were diddling little kids? Because I don't want to live in America where you punish the people who procure the kids, but not the people who screw the kids. Yep, I got my mouse in the wrong spot there. Yeehaw, perps. Maya Flores, we celebrated her victory. You know, first Mexican-born female on Congress shows up, and her kid gets nudged out of the way by Nancy Pelosi. You can watch the video. It's all over the place. Just shows. It really typifies how the liberals want to talk about wokeness and inclusiveness and acceptance and all the bullshit that they spew. And then when it comes right down to it, that old drunk white woman will shove a Mexican child out of the way. Yeah, that's great, man. Fuck Nancy Pelosi. You are not an American. All right, my continuing war on EV continues. There was a fire. This was at a junkyard. I believe it is up in Sacramento. We'll know more when I flip the picture, I guess. But anyhow, so this thing catches on fire. In the end, okay? In the end, God. 3 weeks after a crash, this thing catches on fire. This Tesla catches on fire. It took emergency services 4,500 gallons of water to put out that one fire. You know what they did? They took a crane and dug a giant pit. They dropped the car into the pit and filled it with water. In California, we don't have 4,500 gallons of water to spare. And we're going to waste. How are you going to do that on the streets? People don't understand. Lithium, burning metals, things like that, man. Take it from me, man. I'm not just your fireworks director, man. I'm certified across the board in fire prevention. Okay? I've worked on every system. There's a thing out there called Class D fire extinguishers, and they're specifically for metal burning. Because when metal burns or things like lithium burn, they can produce their own oxygen. They can reignite just from the heat alone. They can explode, which is a good thing on the 4th of July, but a bad thing on Interstate 5. Speaking of water, 500,000 gallons of water to mine 1 metric ton of lithium. I'm not going to do the math on that, but one battery per pack requires 7 kilograms of lithium extracted from the brine of salt flats. One of the places that they're doing this is in Chile, and they're also doing it in Argentina. California, we have the Salton Sea, and we want to start mining lithium there. Great idea. Manufacture in America. That way, when there's a crisis or a war, we have our own energy supply. What doesn't make sense about that? Well, you know, it's not a clean fuel. That's for one thing. It's not a clean fuel, okay? And what these people, the authors of this, guy by the name of Hayes, you know, they pretend that EVs don't have their own extensive list of safety and environmental impacts. It's because they often myopically focused on CO2 emissions. So in other words, if you look at CO2 emissions, electric vehicles are the champ. But we've said this before, when you look at the full package, okay, when Europe did a study on the full environmental impact of vehicles, a diesel came out number one. But anyhow, so we here in California, we want to start mining lithium, right? There's a company that's doing it now in the Salton Sea, right? Again, we're doing it here in America under our EPA regulations, with our morals, I guess, behind it, our climate change initiatives behind it. Unlike other countries that don't really give a shit how they do it. They just want the money. Must be the money. Yeah, that was a great scene in Umbrella Academy right over there. Hargreaves singing that song. I'm off on a tangent. But anyhow, back to the Salton Sea in California. So a company is mining lithium in California. And what are we going to do? We're going to tax it. We're going to tax lithium specifically. A new business basically has opened up in California, and Newsom is immediately going to tax it. And this comes to two conclusions, okay? There's two conclusions here, and that's what I do here, man. I'm not here to defend a side, okay? I'm here to point out the problems with any plan that comes along, okay? Whether it's abortion or climate change. I don't care, right or left, red or blue. I don't care. Bam, bam, bam. I'm going to shoot up the bad ideas. That's what the Cowboy's here for, man. Yeehaw. Well, let's look at these two conclusions we can draw from taxing lithium. One, climate change is just a scam. It's just been monetized because it's not real. It's either not real or it's beyond our power to actually control it. Because why is California not paying this company to mine lithium? If we must switch to EVs before we burn up the planet, then why are they not being more helpful to the producers of a vital component? Lithium is a vital component. An electric vehicle does not run without a battery because it's bullshit. They want money. It's been monetized. The earth is going through some changes. There's nothing we can do about it except some assholes can make money off of it. The other thing it brings up, the other conclusion we could draw, we talk about evil corporations, right? They got to do more. They got to pay more. They got to donate more. They got to be more woke, right? Well, how are they supposed to do that when instead of making $1, taxes and fees and heavy-handed regulations leave them with a little nickel? They get 5 cents. So how are they going to pay their workers more? How are they going to donate to worthy causes? How are they going to give back to the communities that they serve? How are they going to do that? The government takes the money. And what is the government going to do? Waste the fucking money. They're going to give it to consultants who sit around in a circle jerk and make shit tons of money and solve no problems. Look at the homeless situation. Shit tons of money, no solutions, and we know what the problem really is. It's drugs. And we're going to get to that in a little bit here. Here's just a random thing pops up, more tweets. Life begins at conception, Joe Biden in 2012. Okay, backpedals on that quickly. Nick Adams coming in strong. If you hate Trump after this 18-month nightmare, your commitment to stupidity is impressive. Look, just admit it. Maybe Trump was an asshole. Maybe Trump wasn't a great human being, but he did a very good job as the leader. I'm sorry. Kevin Sorbo coming in. Newsflash. If it needs to be normalized, it's not normal. Look, man, there is such a thing in this world as normal and not normal. Average and not average. And that's sort of the same thing. At least that's where I come from, okay? That's where I come from. There are a lot of things out there that are not normal, and it shouldn't be normalized, okay? Going back to Maxwell and Epstein, that kind of behavior should not be normalized. We should not allow people to put pedophiliacs in some sort of special protected category. But whatever. Moving on. I love this one. This fucking dolt. Vasectomies prevent abortion. Yeah, you know what vasectomies prevent also? Dumbass liberals. He looks like a dumbass liberal. But fine. That's your own choice. Okay? But you know what? Have kids. All right? And then get a vasectomy. Vasectomy. I don't know why I'm accentuating certain letters. But whatever. But if this guy's not going to be having babies, I guess that's a good thing. So a White House advisor claims that high gas prices are necessary for the future of a liberal world order. Right. Joe Biden's White House said $5 gas is a small sacrifice to make for the future of liberal world order. Americans don't care about liberal world order. We want affordable gas and to make America great again. And you want to know why gas is on there? Because gas, aka diesel, is what drives our economy around. 40%. We said this last week. 40%. 40% of all container ships dump off in LA and leave for other parts of the country using diesel fuel that is taxed and priced as high as anywhere in the country. I don't want to hear, get back on track here. Oh, it really frustrates me because, again, the liberal agenda, this future world order that they have, they think they have the answers. Do they? Do they? Because the truth of the matter is because of America's size and resources and abilities, we really don't need the rest of the world. And I'm just going to tell you, I'm just going to say it right now. We don't need the rest of the world. We really don't. We could be doing it here. We may need to import a few people here and there for certain jobs, but that doesn't seem to be much of a problem. But a liberal world order, because they think they have the answers. Let's look at some of their answers and how well it's turned out. Wow. Biden's Green New Deal is increasing greenhouse gases. You want to say that I'm being political here? You want to say that this is hyperbole? No, there are facts behind this. Emissions rose in his first year in office. Why? Because under Trump and even under Obama, because, as we can see right here, over 6 years covering 2014, okay, Obama was still in power. Through 2020, we led the world in our reductions in carbon dioxide emissions. Our emissions fell by 22%, which was more than Obama's plan would have cut it. And you know why? Because burning gas, natural gas, to make electricity is cleaner than burning coal. In comes Biden, who says, fuck oil, fuck natural gas. I'm going to shut as much of it down as possible. So what did they do? In 2021, Biden takes office, coal use rises. Because coal was cheaper. We cannot sit here and say that the American worker needs to be paid more, but companies should do things that cost more. You see what I mean? If it's cheaper to make it with coal, they're going to make it with coal. You can't fault a business for trying to be profitable. A business pays people. A business drives our economy. Every single business in America is a tiny cog in a greater wheel. They're going to go with coal. It's not the company's fault. They're going to go with the cheapest alternative. And that cheap alternative was natural gas, which is a hell of a lot cleaner than coal. Germany has acknowledged that it will be burning more coal, but they're not even going to get their coal from America. They're going to get it from China. And China has the laxest environmental laws in the world. So Biden's policies, Biden's statements have increased emissions. Pure and simple. Liberal idea, boom. Bad conclusion. Here's another one of theirs. Here's another one. Right here. Look at that. That's one of my favorite of all time. Their immigration policy, their open border policy. What has it led to? 107, over 100,000 fentanyl deaths. Just fentanyl. Okay, folks? We're not even including the new meth that just rots your brain and turns you into a zombie. You see all the zombies out on the streets? That's meth and fentanyl. Those are chemicals that are coming from China to the ports of Mexico that are controlled by the cartels who take those chemicals and feed them to our children. Fentanyl is the leading cause of death, 18 to 45. So the prime of our people are being killed because of China, because of Mexican cartels, and because of an open border policy. If we had a nice border situation It wouldn't matter that China is sending fentanyl over or the new meth. Wouldn't matter because it wouldn't get into our country. Here in California, 2 guys were just busted with enough fentanyl to kill thousands of people. Pill after pill after pill. They were let go. They were let go because here in California, that we just looked at that as simple drug possession. They didn't even get charged with intent to sell. Do you know what happens? College-age people, 18 to 20s, right? You go to a party, somebody says, hey, man, you want to chill out with some Percocet? You take the Percocet, it's laced with fentanyl. Now, there's 2 outcomes. You're either going to die or you're going to get addicted. And when you get addicted, you're going to do more, and eventually you're going to die. Because they're putting fentanyl in everything, because fentanyl is highly addictive. Cocaine, you could do cocaine on a weekend and not do it again. You could have cocaine for Christmas, and that's the only time in the year you do cocaine. You're not a good customer, are you? You put some fentanyl in that cocaine, now you're coming back every goddamn day, spending every cent you have, taking your paycheck, and then all the shit you steal along the way. And then pretty soon, you're out on the streets. And we're going to get into that. That's going to be an upcoming episode where I want to talk about how people end up on the streets. But that's a different tangent right now. Biden is nowhere to be found after unleashing total chaos at the southern border. Yeah. In May alone, 1,000 pounds of fentanyl and 10,000 pounds of meth were seized. And then we probably seize, let's be generous, let's say we seize 30%. So what does that mean? What are those numbers? Those are staggering numbers of drugs coming in. The first thing he did when he came in was to shut down the wall, correct? And as we just saw here, $72 million of taxpayer money went to specifically stop building the wall. They ended Trump's Remain in Mexico policy under the passion of liberal compassion. That's liberal compassion. It was not Americans thanking him for that. It was illegal immigrants. And it was also the drug cartels. Now I'm going to put the drug cartel thing and the illegal immigration thing into terms that most people can understand. We're going to look at this like I'm Coach Kid right now, man, okay? There's the U.S., all right? There's the line, the border. We got our border patrol. Stopping the drugs, the fentanyl, the sex slaves, the trafficking, the terrorists, the gang members, all that other bad shit, right? So we've got them stopped there at the border. We've got a nice secure border. So how are the cartels going to get around that? Right here. Look at that. It's called running it up the gut. You send illegal immigrants to the left. You send illegal immigrants to the right. And you run up the middle with all your shit because the Border Patrol is overwhelmed trying to take care of tens of thousands of people streaming across over here and tens of thousands of people streaming across on the other side. And it leaves a big gaping hole for the drugs and the bad actors to come through. That's what they're doing. That right there is exactly what's happening. Because of our policies, we encourage the illegal immigrants to come. California is going to give them health care, so they're going to make a run at California, and the cartels are just going to zoom up through fucking Texas. That's a football play. That is how you run a football team. You know, you send all your guards one way, your runner goes the other way, you block, you create lanes, all of those little sports terms that we could throw around. But that's what the cartels are doing. Huge problem we have on the horizon is China and their designs on Taiwan. Semiconductors are basically, if you have something that has any form of electronics to it, those are semiconductors. I don't care if you're talking about a phone, a satellite, a car, a kid's toy that speaks. Okay? They have semiconductors. So Taiwanese companies want to move over here. They want to set up shop. But what they're asking the U.S. government to do is to make up the difference between the cost in Taiwan and the cost of operations in the United States. Now, it seems kind of weird that our government will give our tax dollars to a Taiwanese company, but this is vital. This is vital. Semiconductors are a vital vital part of everyday life. I'm fully in support of it because it makes sense to have our own semiconductors. It protects us against a future Chinese invasion. It protects Taiwanese businesses against that. And yes, the CHIPS Act here, it was supposed to support domestic companies, not for foreign companies investing in America. But the semiconductor industry, SEMI, urged Congress to open CHIPS funding for all companies investing in the United States. And now that's getting tied up by the fucking Republicans who say, we're not going to pass that if you guys keep trying to pass your Build Back Better plan, reconciliation plan, whatever the fuck it is. But again, it shows that these politicians will not do what's good for America. They will do what's good for their party, their side, their own personal gain. Man, that's the heart and soul of Purple State. Politicians who put our needs ahead of their needs. I know, maybe I am a dreamer. Maybe I am. But you know what? This is America, man. This is a land of achieving dreams. Yeah, as I said earlier, California raised their gas tax, and they're going to give free health care only to illegal immigrants. How does that make any sense? They're illegal immigrants. If they want to immigrate here, I have no problem, man. I don't care if 3.5 million immigrants come into our country. I don't give a fuck. Okay? Illegal, yes. Because illegal means that a lot of bad shit's coming along with them. Not them individually, but we saw earlier. Refer back to the football diagram. Okay? California going to give health care to illegal aliens. In this time of crisis, that's what he's going to do. Okay. The tree of liberty must be refreshed from time to time with the blood of patriots and tyrants. Yeah, there has been a lot of movement from the Supreme Court. Look, philosophically, I disagree with them on some of this stuff, but I could see their legal standpoint for some of this. I'm glad they're finally freeing us from having to explain why we might need to carry a gun for protection. Okay? I'm glad that we're free of some of these heavy-handed EPA regulations. Because there is no sense in cleaning up the planet if we're just going to decimate everything else along the way. And that's what some of these EPA regulations do. They stop progress. I love this one, man. But it's not just the Supreme Court, man. It's people like you and me. People who are going to start thinking a different way and voting a different way. I'm telling you, man. Telling you. A third party based on some of my philosophies, okay, can get us a lot further. And the Supreme Court is showing exactly how crazy some of the shit has been going. Here's some of the best right now. Trump smites rock with 9 iron, causes it to spew forth cheap gasoline. Little biblical reference there. World Economic Forum banner slips revealing Hydra logo. Yeah, I don't want foreign organizations having any say in America. Okay, they can go fuck themselves. All right, we know what we're doing. All right, we don't need we don't need outside interference. We just don't. Good, bad, or negative, or positive or neutral. It doesn't matter to me. Just shut up, man. Let America run America. Biden prevented from wandering too far with handy new toddler leash. I feel like they're literally one step away from having to do that. All right. So this is the one that made me laugh, made my wife laugh. So we decided, hey, you know what, y'all? This is number one for the week. Running short on funds for a July 4th barbecue. Man opens the family safe to retrieve the 16 cents he saved last year. Yeah, I'm going to have one hell of a shindig over here, man, for the 4th of July, man. Yeah, I've been saving some of them stimmy checks and putting it away, man. So I'm ready, man. Your fireworks director, he's ready to go. Keeping this one really short, man. I know it's a holiday weekend. I don't want you to waste a lot of time listening to me ramble, man. I want you to hear the good points that I'm making. And I want you to get back to celebrating America and celebrating your family and being safe. Man, take it from the kid, man. Very few people out there as crazy as I am. But you want to know something else? I'm also one of the safest mofos out there. But we're going to leave you with this, because this is the heart and soul right here, man. Sure, I wave the American flag. Do you know a better flag to wave? I love my country with all her faults. I'm not ashamed of that. Never have been. Never will be. We share the same history as the rest of the world. Slavery, discrimination, the disempowerment of women. Every country has gone through this, man. But we keep fighting. And we keep fighting for ourselves and the rest of the world. We should be telling the rest of the world what to do. All right? Yeah, there's countries out there that you could say, oh, it's better for this or it's better for that. But you know what? Some of those countries, they won't let you move there. Some of those countries are still lagging behind in lots of different categories. Acceptance, climate change, all of that shit. We sit at the top for a damn good reason. Because of the American spirit. I don't know what that is. I can't define it. But you know, you take the work ethic from this group, you take the intelligence or the family values from this group, you take this and you take that and you put them together and you got America. America is built on the backs of a lot of different people's varying ideas, coalescing into what I fight for, common sense. That's why one of our early famous works was Common Sense by Thomas Paine. Some of our faults right now, because slavery's gone. We have LGBT rights and acceptance. We have tried our damnedest to stamp out racism. We try our best to help and assist as many downtrodden people as possible. But today, we face different faults. One fault, we are soft as fuck. Our politicians, I should say, are soft as fuck. We import workers from India. But when we ask them to support us against Russia in the Ukraine, what do? They go with Russia. We have, since the 70s with Richard Nixon, we have propped up China's economy for decades now. Yet they're still the enemy. They're sending drugs to the cartels to feed into America. Do they help? No. Are they taking our side against Russia? No. No. They're going to do what they're going to do because they're not on our side. They're evil. They're the bad guys. China's the bad guys. That's why I say we need to start Made in Americas. We need to pull out everything out of China. All of it. All of it. We've been nice long enough. Okay? I'll pay the $5. Okay? They talk about we need to pay $5 gasoline for a liberal new world order. I'll pay more to get us out of China. Okay? I'll do with less to get us out of China. Because I know eventually it'll come around and stuff coming out of Honduras is going to be cheap. All right? But fuck China. All right? We're growing dumb. We vilify Donald Trump in this country now. People just vilify the man. Yet for 4 years, we had pretty much world peace. People still hate him. He got us into no wars. He kept things mellow. He kept prices low. Dumb. Dumb. Liberals call it compassionate to leave drug addicts on the streets. Drug addicts, for the most part, are acting out as a cry for help because they know what they are. They know they're stuck in an endless cycle of drugs. But what do? We put the needs of a few over the needs of the many. We strip away women's rights to give the rights for trans athletes to take the medals and to take the money. We we worry about the 10,000 people who are murdered by guns. And we want, strict gun control. But we don't worry about the hundreds of thousands that died from fentanyl. No, we don't worry about that. We don't try to tighten our borders. You want to count the bullets in my magazine. That's what you want. You don't want to do anything about the drug problems on the streets. You want to try to blame homeowners and say that it's home prices that are leading all these people to the streets. It's moronic. It's absolutely moronic. Our country deserves better than the Democrat Party. They do, flat out. We deserve better than what the Republicans often offer. But the Republicans are not allowing crime to fester in the streets. They're not allowing the borders to be open. Okay? They're not allowing China to rule the day. I think a lot of Republicans would love to tell China, F you. But this is about the birth of this country, man. A country that was burdened with taxes, with no representation. A country that took on the most powerful military in the world. The most powerful military in the world. We took them on and we won. We had help. France sent help. France saw the writing on the walls. They knew America could not be stopped. Better to be on their side than in their way. And what have we crafted? In our short amount of history, what other nation has given hope and success to more varieties of humans? You name a religion, they've succeeded here. You name a culture, they've succeeded here. You name a nationality, they have succeeded here. People from all around the world in all facets of life. Musicians. Yeah, great, you're popular in Europe. You don't make it until you're popular in America. All right? We breed success. We breed hope. We may not always be right, but we are always trying to get there. Unless you're a fucking liberal. In which case, you are trying to hold up your agenda. That's the way I see it. I see Republicans and I see Christians and I see a lot of different people out there who are also doing the same goddamn thing. They're more worried about their agenda. But you know what? Most of America is purple. Because we are the red, white, and blue. And when you mix that all together, you get purple. So this 4th of July, man, you know what? I throw a party to end all parties, man. But along the way up in my head, man, I think about the things that need to be fixed. But I never forget the greatness. I never forget the greatness of this country. The opportunities that it provides. The good that it has done in the world. Yeah, you can point out the bad stuff. There's far more good stuff. Happy 4th of July, y'all. Man, be safe. Be insane. And party. Because we all fucking need one night off of listening and hearing and reading all of this bullshit. All right? This 4th of July, just remember one thing. America is the greatest country on the face of this planet. And it's all because of you and me and people like us. And fuck all the people who want to tear this country down. Hell yeah. Copious. Out.